everybody. My name is Felicia Rexford. I am a real estate investor with over 15 years of experience. I am a realtor located out of the Las Vegas area. A lot of my portfolio spans across the United States and hopefully soon to be world. I'm looking at a couple properties in Europe, so stay tuned for that. But today I wanted to talk to you about this beautiful cabin that I'm sitting at. So this is a property that I Airbnb out of Duck Creek, Utah. This cabin is super special. We've owned it for 9 years. My children have grown up here. I manage this myself, even though I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's got a beautiful location on a map that sits just in between both Zion National Park and Bryce Canyon National Park. So it's really a year-round destination between hikers coming to use it. And then of course we get epic snow. We're only like 45 minutes from Bryan Head. It's a beautiful place to own a property, but it's a cabin. It's a cabin. It's a cabin. If you are looking at owning an Airbnb, specifically a cabin, this video is for you. Why am I here, you may ask? I am here because I'm about to accomplish one of the biggest repairs that we've had on the cabin thus far. So stick with me to the end of this video where I show you the biggest repair that I've had on the cabin. I told you that I was going to tell you how much that repair is going to cost me. So here we are. Drum roll, please. Actually, I don't think that that's too bad. It's a mess right behind you. You don't even know what's going on. You don't even know what I'm looking at. It's a big old mess. So I wanted to tell you 3 things that you may not know about owning a cabin, an Airbnb, or a very specific Airbnb that may be somewhat remote. And the things that I've learned owning this cabin for the last 9 years. Owning this cabin has taught me a lot. It has taught me that when you own a special piece of land like this, you are going to pay premiums. You're gonna pay premiums, people, all right? That's lesson number 1, premiums. What does that mean? Well, first and foremost, why do I manage this property myself? I manage this property myself because if you reach out to a property management company, when you own cabins, and I've owned multiple cabins in Big Bear, California, here in Duck Creek, Utah, they typically are gonna charge you approximately 30%. 30%, y'all. And I bought this cabin 9 years ago with much better interest rates than what you may be purchasing a cabin with. So 30% is going to heavily eat into your profits. So the first question may be, can I manage a property out of state like a cabin that's remote? The answer is yes. Yes, you can. You just have to have a couple very special people in your hip pocket. One being a great cleaner. Somebody who's going to communicate with you well, access the cabin, and do all the things that you want. You have to have a great cleaner. And don't worry, if you're on Airbnb and even if you have a great cleaner, don't worry, people are still going to complain about things. So that should be like a sub bullet. Be prepared for complaints, stupid complaints. We are in a hosting business and you're gonna get some people that are just rude. That always hurts my heart though. So if that's something that's gonna bother you, you shouldn't be in the business. You can manage this from afar. You need a good cleaner, you need a good handyman, and if you're gonna get things like snow, you're probably gonna need a great snow removal person when the winter time comes around. Everything costs a premium. Let me say that again. Everything costs a premium. Nothing is going to cost the same as if you owned a property in the city. So cleaners, premiums. To do an extra cleaning, premium to get there. The snow removal guy, if he needs to come in a snowstorm because your client decided to arrive in a minivan and now can't come out of the snow, he's gonna charge you a premium. So things just cost more. That is something that you really need to take into account. Obviously, get your home inspection and all of that stuff accomplished because in reality, again, we've owned this cabin for 9 years and I'm sitting here today managing and watching a project that's one of the biggest projects that we've undergone on this home, but we really have been able to stiff arm a lot of large issues. So, what are some things that can also come with a premium? Basic handyman issues. I had a client in this house and the shower head had fallen off of my shower. So going to the local hardware store and getting a $25 shower head cost me, guess how much? That's right. It cost me $350 to get a shower head installed because I needed it then during a stay. It was kind of an emergency, not that I was flooding or anything, but that can really hinder your reviews, and reviews are the lifeline of an Airbnb. So one other thing I would say get checked very, very well is your chimney stack and how the snow is gonna slope off of your roof. One of the big issues that I'm dealing with kind of involves how the snow slopes off my roof and what it's doing to the property itself over time. I'll get to that here in a second, but we have had chimney issues where heavy snow can whack those chimneys over, and that's something that you should definitely pay attention to. I've actually watched multiple of my neighbors have the exact same issues, and being a realtor in Las Vegas, Nevada, chimneys and snow are not something that I was prepared for. So, are you ready to see the biggest repair that I've had to do on this cabin thus far? Let's go check it out. I'm gonna turn this video around and show you what I'm dealing with, and maybe it will educate you that much more when it comes time for you to buy your cabin. Let's see what I'm dealing with. So I'm gonna take you down my steps really fast, and it probably would be good to see how my cabin sits. And seeing over here how my cabin sits, we kind of are set into this hill. Okay, so we have like a basement over here. But the problem that we are dealing with is, remember that roof slope that I was talking about? So we've got a lot of snow that comes off this roof and lands and piles up next to our cabin. Well, the problem is that we had a water vapor barrier fail on us, which is pretty much that tar that you're seeing right there. So all of this is new tar. Okay, let's just jump down here. Bloop, yeah. Right here is the foundation of your property, okay? And this is the house sitting on the foundation. This goes down a few feet, this piece of concrete. Well, this water barrier in this crook had gone bad. When the snow melts here, the dirt would be up about here, and seeps slowly down. If this French drain wasn't where it needed to be, and this water barrier is broken, slowly but surely we got water into the house. And we ended up having to take all the drywall out on the other side of this because the water was seeping slowly, very slowly, into my home and giving us a little bit of mold. So here we are, we're excavating, we're making sure that this water barrier is good. We are gonna re-slope this soil, not just this way slope, but this way slope. Also, this French drain, this isn't placed exactly where it needs to be quite yet, but the holes are on the bottom of the French drain. After this is all, the soil is put back, when the snow falls and melts down, and the water kind of seeps down and it kind of sits like a puddle, it goes into this French drain before it goes to my house, and it will flood away from the property. So I guess all of that to say, when you're looking at your home, and again, this hasn't been a problem for 9 years, but when you're looking at your home, make sure that you're checking to see how snow is going to fall off of the roof, where it's gonna land. And inspections, I don't know how they would tell, but you're gonna want to see what's below the soil. If all that snow lands here and defrosts, creates all of this water in the spring, where's that water going? Where are the French drains? Do you have any plans to show me that? What size is the French drain? My contractor today is putting in a 4-inch French drain here to allow that water to go away from my property. You can also do a 2-part epoxy. If you want it to come on the inside of my property and drill holes, you can throw a 2-part epoxy into the walls to give it one more layer of water barrier, so to speak. So again, when you're buying a cabin, what does the roof line look like? Where's the snow gonna pitch off to? I'll get 6 to 8 feet of snow here. And when that snow melts, Where is the water going, and how are you going to get it away from your cabin? I told you that I was going to tell you how much that repair is going to cost me. So here we are. Drum roll, please. $15,000. Actually, I don't think that that's too bad. They've had to excavate, they're doing the water sealing, they're doing the French drain. I've got drywall all taken out in my property right now. They're gonna re-drywall that. They're gonna give me fresh insulation, and I should be good for years and years to come. I'm gonna take you down my driveway a little bit. This cabin is so special to me. So when you're buying a cabin that's kind of set into the hillside like that, how does the snow run off? What does the pitch of the roof look like? And if the snow's gonna pile up 6, 7, 8 feet against the property, ask, where are your French drains? How big are your French drains? Look at how beautiful she is. Ah, she's so pretty. And just know that's something you're gonna wanna watch. I probably would have watched the integrity of my drywall a little bit more if I even thought that that was a problem. I hope that I have helped in your cabin buying journey. You can do this. You can do this from far away. I've been managing this beauty for 9 years, Rexford's Retreat in Duck Creek, Utah. My name is Felicia Rexford. If you have any additional questions, I'm here to help. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram. You can DM me there very easily. Ciao.